What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Taj. We got another NBA talk video, MyPark gameplay in the background. Today we're going to be talking about the Toronto Raptors, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment a video I should make, an idea I should talk about, something important. I'm going to make videos probably soon about who should start in the All-Star games, who should make the All-Star games for the first time, who should be in the All-Star games probably in the next few weeks, just because, there isn't a lot to talk about, at least right now, but there are always going to be more topics, and that it has to come out. That video is going to have to be made some point. Also gaming channel, links in the description. Let's get into this. We're going to be talking about the Raptors and the Cavs, as I said, and it's actually funny because I'm a junior in high school at the moment, and right now I have to write the junior research paper. And funny, in class we have these free writes, and I don't know what to write about, so sometimes I just write about the Bulls. Like, I honestly will, because, he's like, my teacher, he'll be like, yo, just write about whatever. He's like, it doesn't matter what you write about, just write a page on something. I was like, fuck it, there's nothing I'm better at talking about than basketball, and I like the Bulls, so I'll write about the Bulls, and I did write about the NBA, another time. But, it was just to fill the space, and he picked our topics for the junior research paper, and my topic was the Eastern Conference. And it's funny because there's another kid in our class who's on the basketball team. I played with him last year, one of my teammates from the sophomore team, and he got the Western Conference. So, we're writing this paper. I'm writing a paper on the Eastern Conference, or an argument I'm making about the Eastern Conference. My argument is talking about how LeBron James is such a dominating force in the Eastern Conference. If you don't know why I got that, it's because my teacher, he's pretty creative and he knows what we like, and he gave everybody a topic that basically they were interested in, because he would tell by their free writes what they were interested in. So basically, I'm talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and LeBron James specifically being the Eastern Conference dominant force. Not really the Cavs, just LeBron James. And I like to talk about how there's no one that can shake him. There's no one that can do anything to phase the fact that he's going to be in the NBA Finals again this year. But, you look at history. 6 years straight, LeBron's been in the Finals. It's got to end at some point. LeBron can't play forever. The Cavs can't be the number one seed, and the Cavs can't be the best team in the league, the best team in the Eastern Conference forever. Not the best team in the league. They won the championship, but there isn't really a clear-cut best team in the league right now, I would say. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, my point is here that LeBron can't rule forever. There's got to be a year where he loses. It's got to happen at some point. If he goes for the rest of his career, that would be absolutely phenomenal and something that we've never seen before, because he's going to get old, he's going to age. And I'm not saying he's declining, because I don't think he is. I think he's just changing his game into more of a playmaker type, where he doesn't have to do as much scoring as he used to. But the main idea, what I'm bringing you guys, is to talk about the Toronto Raptors. Are they a significant threat to the Cavs in the East? I'm sure we ask this every year, and I'm sure that in the playoffs, when the Cavs win again, I'm gonna be like, why would we even talk about the Eastern Conference? Because it seems like a given that the Cavs are gonna win the Eastern Conference every single year. And it's funny because we always end up discussing it. Is there gonna be a team that can compete with LeBron and the Cavs in the East? Can there be a team that upsets them in the playoffs? Well, the Pacers came close to upsetting the Heat, back when they were in their run. Ever since LeBron joined Miami, no one's beaten LeBron in the Eastern Conference, and that's just something that's happened. It's not like anyone. The Pacers came close. The Bulls had a competitive series with them. The Pacers had 2 competitive series with them, I think, and the Celtics were there before LeBron went to the Heat, and they were a big time force in the East. And of course, the Raptors last year took 2 games off of the Cavs in the playoffs. The Raptors, getting their first playoff series win. I'm not exactly sure if there was their first in franchise history, but it was a big stepping stone because they had been upset the previous 2 years in the playoffs, first round. So they got out of the first round, got out of the second round, and they lost in 6 to the Cavs in the East. Now, we're talking about the Raptors because they have been maddeningly consistent over the past few weeks, as a basketball squad, with the improvement of DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry's consistent contributions, Valanciunas always being that big man in the middle for them to rely on at points where they can't get shots, but they can usually get shots. Their offense is one of the top offenses in the NBA. In fact, they're tied with, I believe, the 3rd best scoring offense in the league with the Cavs. at 111.5 points per game, and their defense is also something that is really good. I mean, their defense gets them, they allow 102.6 opponents' points per game, which is decent. It's better than average. They're a better than average defensive team, and they've got good weapons off the bench. The biggest concern with the Raptors, of course, is their forward situation. They just never had a formidable duo to start a small and power forward, and their bench, they're starting Norman Powell. They started him last game, I believe, against Milwaukee, and they don't exactly know who that guy is going to be for them. That's something they need to figure out. But right now, they're playing extremely consistent basketball. They've won 9 out of their last 10. Their point differential is the highest in the Eastern Conference at 8.9. Yes, they're outscoring opponents by more than they're outscoring the Cavs. Than the Cavs are outscoring opponents. They are allowing 1 less point per game than the Cavs, so their differentials is just 1 better than the Cavs. But they've won their last 3, and they've won 9 out of 10. They're on a great roll right now, 17-7, only a game behind the Cavs, who have won the same amount of games, just lost 2 less games than the Toronto Raptors. But I think that this team is definitely the team that could take down the Cavs. If a team in the East was going to take down the Cavs this year, I think it's these guys, or the Bulls, which it's not because I'm like a Bulls fan. That's not why I'm saying it. It's because if you know the Bulls, the Bulls are really good against really good teams and really bad against bad teams. They play to their competition's level, so they're always they always have a chance, I believe, at least, as someone that watches it, because they can get up for the big games. They already beat the Cavs and the Spurs in the last few games. But that's if they get a good spot, they get a shot at the Cavs. They can take advantage of that shot. But other than the Bulls, just because of that thing that they do, the Toronto Raptors are really that team because they're consistent in the regular season. They're the one team in the Eastern Conference besides the Cavs who haven't really had any question marks, haven't had any struggles so far. They could be 18-6 if you take a look at that clock malfunction game where they got screwed by the refs in Sacramento. That was pretty BS, and I think they totally would have won the game if it went to overtime. I really don't have any confidence in the Sacramento Kings, even though they're in the 9th spot, which I'm still amazed at. DeMarcus Cousins is just balling out this year. He's been the only guy that can do anything for that team. I still want him to get traded, by the way. Not the point of this video. The Raptors, I'm not going to call them a championship contender just yet. I want to see them be more consistent. They won 56 in the regular season. Last year, I think it was 56. Correct me if I'm wrong. It could be 56 or 58, but I'm pretty sure it was 56. That was a franchise record. And they got farther in the playoffs than they ever had, of course, in the conference finals. Now, they look to be consistent this year as well. They are on a great run right now. They keep this up, they could get more than that. They could break their own record again and make another run at the Cavs in the playoffs. Now, are the Cavs any worse? No, I don't think they are. Kevin Love's absolutely killing it this season. He's having the season where everybody expected him to be like that when he came to Cleveland. Took a little while, but he's playing like that. LeBron James, no slowing him down. He's just playing a little different. But that dynamic backcourt of the Toronto Raptors could still give teams fits. People have a lot of trouble guarding DeMar DeRozan by himself, but then when you get a guy like Kyle Lowry to play off him who can shoot that 3 ball very well and defend at a high level, it's a great compliment. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan are a fantastic duo. They play together so well, and DeRozan is really doing a great job of carrying the scoring load for that team night in, night out. Getting to the line, he has a reliable source of offense. He proved the doubters wrong. People told him, or people said that, he's not going to be a great NBA scorer because he doesn't have any sort of consistent offensive outlet. Like, he doesn't have a good 3-point shot, and his points are mostly from the mid-range game, but it doesn't really matter. He's still getting the buckets. Free throws have obviously been a huge factor for that. Basically, the point is, I want to see the Toronto Raptors win 60 games in the regular season. I want to see them. The only problem I think with this is that the Cavs have already beat them 3 times during the regular season. A lot of times the Cavs let opponents beat them in the regular season in the Eastern Conference, or LeBron teams. They let, the Eastern Conference foes that are good get some W's on them to give them confidence, but they shut them down in the playoffs. They do it every year. I swear, the teams they play, they don't always have a winning record against them in the season. And this year, the Cavs have shut out the Raptors. I think they've won 3 out of 3 games against them. I think that's what it is. Anyway, the Raptors have got to just be a consistent ball club. They got to get that forward situation completely down pat. I want to see them be consistent if they want a chance at taking down the Cavs, which honestly I don't believe is going to happen. But hey, It's sports, miracles. I mean, I wouldn't say miracle because they're also a good team, but you know, the Cavs, they don't fuck around in the playoffs. The Raptors do. If any team has a shot, I would say the Raptors have the best shot, to be completely fair. People aren't really valuing them because of what they do in the playoffs. They're not really the best playoff team. They haven't been historically over the last few years. But I do think that if they keep it up and show that they have some good camaraderie, if their guys don't struggle in the playoffs in that first round, if they get off to a good start, which they haven't, then they could definitely give them a run for the money. I'm pretty sure, because if you remember last year, Lowry and DeRozan were both very not good in the first few rounds of the playoffs, and I think that could be a reason why they weren't exactly so highly regarded coming into this season, just because, you know, playoffs are very important and they don't really seem to scare you as a contender for the championship. That's gonna do it for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on this video. If you have an agreement, disagreement, idea for another video, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.